We got the drop.
It's what I do, it's who I am.
I'm a hustler, baby.
No label, the label.
Whoa, what's that mob? It's the biggest mob. Key the Kid, and welcome back to my channel. No label the label. If you like power like I love power, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn your post notification bell so you won't miss any other videos I have on Power. Power Book 3 Raising Kanan is out now, and if you've been missing it, shame on you. But don't you worry, I got you covered with the most exclusive content in the game. Speaking of exclusive content in the game, you already know why you came. You already know what you here for. So let me make this clear for you. Yeah, this is my spoilers video for episode 7, We All Are Guilty. Before we get started with today's video, you guys, give me a big thumbs up. Yeah, like the video. Also, go to the description. In the description, there's a link to my new single, You can stream it on any streaming platforms or stick around on YouTube and watch the official music video. The link is the one under that. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at No Label the Label. Now, without further ado, let me bring the episode to you. Alright, so in this episode, we will see Marvin, Uncle Marvin, go to his partner's Gerald house so he can write about it in an article. To give so he can write about the girl about Butter. So he can write about Juke. But that came to a halt when he was going to Gerald's house and seeing his little girls in the car. He was like, what's going on? So he got the little girls out and he brought them into the house. Gerald told his girls to stay outside while he handled some business. Whole time he was in there getting high. Yeah, he was in there getting loaded. And Marvin came to the rescue, showing his unclely duties. They even called him Uncle Marvin. He got them right with some dinner and whatnot. He even gave them some cookies for their dessert and told them they could eat that up in their room and to go share it with their sisters. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all share. Now, when he was talking to Gerald, he told Gerald he came over here so he can get some information on Juke to write about her. But forget all that. Your girls, your health is more important. You need to take them to their mama. Where she at? And Gerald ended up telling her that he don't know where his mother of his kids are. He don't know where they are. She could be up the street. She could be around the corner. She could be in the grave for all he knows. He introduced her into this dope life and left her, and she left him when he tried to get clean. His family, he ain't got no family because he stole from them. Yeah, Gerald stole from his family, and they want nothing to do with him. And Marvin is telling him that he's a mess and he needs to get it together.
And speaking of getting it together, Lulu, he needs to get it together because Chantel is got her story together. Yeah, she got everything together. She is trying to get her ducks in a row. So she went to the precinct after Lulu went over there drunk, singing like he his daddy, singing over there to Chantel, telling her, I tried to stop it. I tried. Man, look, holy noise. So she went over there to the precinct to go talk to detectives about what she knows. She wanted to talk to the detective that she knows, but he was busy, so he directed her to Howard. And Howard was like, yeah, man, you got to tell me everything you know and this and that and the third. And she was kind of iffy about telling Howard because she wanted to talk to the person that she knows because, you know, once it get out that you ratting, then use a goner. I'm talking about, yeah, pick a coffin. Use a goner. So when Howard was talking to her, he was telling her, look, you got to tell me everything you know. And she was like, well, look, my baby was murdered. My son was murdered. And she was like, well, how do you know? And she was like, I got to keep his name. I got to keep their name classified. And she was like, well, you know, we have to get this for Scrap and for you, for your sake. If we got to get all our ducks in a row, we want everything, so you got to tell us everything. So she ended up saying that Lou Thomas is the one that told her. And Howard was like, wait, what? So he was there? And she was like, I guess that's what it sounded like. He was there. He had to be there. He knows something, but it sounded like he was drunk. And Howard was telling her that a drunken man confessions did not hold up in the courtroom. And you need to keep this between us. You don't need to talk to no other police because if it gets out that you ratting, something bad can happen. So after that, you know he went and took that information to Raquel. And Raquel was mad as hell at herself, at Lou, and Detective Howard too. So Detective Howard told her that your little brother is messing up. You know what I'm saying? You need to fix this. And Raquel let him know that no, boy, look. This is your problem too. You only care because Scrap comes back to you. If you wasn't wrong about Scrap, he wouldn't have got clapped. So, what's up? In other words, it's gonna get handled. She told him that, look, don't you worry, you fret not, my friend. You fret not, boyo. I will handle this. I will make sure I handle my brother. Now, speaking of my brother, my pal, my friend, my brother in arms, Unique. I meant to say Ronnie, my bad. So Ronnie is shining this episode. He has talked more than he has ever spoken before. See, in the beginning of the episode, we can see him pressing Paul. Yeah, he will be pressing Paul about what he told Kanan. So Ronnie was like, yeah, I heard that you calling the cops. You gonna be calling the cops and all that. And Ronnie scared, shook. He was like, no, man, I promise I won't call him. I was just saying that because I was frustrated. And and Ronnie told him saying that is worse than doing it. You see what I'm saying? He was like, man, I promise I won't even think it. I won't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? And then Famous and them try to come in. He was like, oh, I'll leave y'all alone. And Kanan was like, I'm right behind you. And you know, Famous ended up telling Kanan that, look, I just came to get my stuff. I ain't have time to get it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have time to get it. And he was like, well, look, just come back later and get it. I gotta go make sure Ronnie don't kill this dude. So, since we on Ronnie, we're gonna speak about him and Famous's conversation. If you haven't seen that video is on my page. If you want it, go find it. If you don't, just listen here. So Ronnie and Kanan come in the house and they're like, where you going, Famous? And Famous like, man, I'm moving back with my mama. And Ronnie like, why? And she was like, she missed me. You know what I'm saying? And um, Ronnie was like, for what? My mama don't miss me, da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And he was like, well, you need to find out why she missed you. Maybe because you, maybe she missed your voice. Kanan told me you talk too much. And he was like, you told him that? Now Famous getting real scared. So long story short, Famous was telling him, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to worry about me. And he was like, do I look shook? I could show you what shook look like. That's what Ronnie was telling him. And Kanan ended up telling him, look, man, Famous keep his mouth closed for the most part. If he open his mouth, I will fuck him up myself. You don't even have to worry about it. Now, speaking of worrying about it, and Ronnie, Panera Bread comes home, to her place, and is being asked by Ronnie, what are you doing here? And she says, I live here, Ronnie. And he say, man, you staying with your mama. You staying at your mama house. This is my spot right now. And she's like, man, this is still me and Unique's home. And I'm just here getting some stuff for me and Rome. And she was like, well, you better hurry up and get what you need. And she like, what is the girl from the bodega doing here? Yeah, Ronnie got Juliana in the house. Ooh, you know it's finna go on. So then after she leaves, Juliana was just like, you need to watch her. She doesn't seem to like you. You see what I'm saying? And he's like, man, I ain't worrying about her. And she said, man, you need to worry about your enemies. They're very dangerous, especially if they're family. So Ronnie ends up following Panera Bread to her mama house, to the bakery. You see what I'm saying? To see Wazam. And she was like, oh, so this is where y'all be making y'all yeast and bread and stuff. Hey, this is where your mama live. And she was like, what, you following me? He was like, I'm just making sure you all right and stuff. And he was like, you know, whoever did that stuff to Unique Tailor Shop is still out there. You need to be careful. You all wrong got. You know you his mama. And since we want to talk about mamas, Sean, a.k.a. Famous, went over to his mama's house to talk to her, to tell her that, you know, I was acting like a clown, and I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. You know, I was tripping. And she said, I will never put you out again, my son. And he was telling her, man, you know, I did some things I wish I could take back. You know what I'm saying? I'm really shook. I'm really scared. And she said, fret not, my friend. Fret not, boyo. You're home now. You're home. So everything seems to be going smoothly with Famous and his mother. It looks like they will be rekindling their relationship because Famous is shook and scared because he caught a hat and he don't know how to react. And speaking of mothers and react, you should have seen the way Lulu's mother's asked when she went into that club asking for money because she's short on her bills because Rock ain't popping it off. You see what I'm saying? Marvin told her that Lulu is part owner of this club and all you can give me is a couple of dubs. What the freak is going on? Your daddy was the same way, spending all his time and money into this club and ain't getting nothing in return. Ain't getting nothing in return. But whole time she talking, I'm knowing all he could think about is the beat down Marvin just gave him. Yeah, he got roughed up in that cream shirt. He got roughed up in that cream shirt. This nigga turned him to a cream puff. Yeah, he got turned to a cream puff by his big brother Marvin for starting something he can't finish. So Marvin went over there to check him after Raquel told Marvin to go handle Lou for running his mouth about Scrap and the murder. You see what I'm saying? So Lulu don't even remember going over there. You see what I'm saying? Lulu don't even remember going over there. So now he has to make this right. That was the words of Marvin. You have to make this right. And ooh. Speaking of make this right, Juke is trying to make the right decision, the right career choice. So she's telling the lady, I thought y'all came here to help us get jobs and stuff for the future. You talking about science and some whole other stuff that I ain't even got time to hear about. Either get me right with that or get right up out of my face. I ain't got time for that there. It's really more to it, y'all, but I can't remember everything now. Come on now, I got a life outside of this too. Speaking of life outside of this, make sure you click the link in the description. Outside of this, I do music. The first link is a magical link. It'll take you to any streaming services you want to stream my new single, such as Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Denzer, and wherever else. And you can also stick around on YouTube with the link below that and check out the official music video. Now, speaking of official music video, check out Kanan talking to old girl Crystal on in my Moochella the review voice. So he over here talking to Crystal, chopping it up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Shout out to Crystal, man. She had watched my Instagram story. So Kanan over there sweet talking like she know I be doing, saying how they both look good and how great minds think alike and all that. And boom, here come our Isha ass. Cog block and fucking everything up like, bitch, oh my gosh, move, ill. Worrying about her date, worrying about being late to the movies or whatever. Yeah, they finna go to the movies, him and this little Jove. You see what I'm saying? So when Jukebox see Kanan and Crystal talking, flirting, Jukebox lets her know that, yeah, Kanan, my cousin, is for Aisha. Aisha is for my cousin, Kanan. And she was like, you mean puke box? And she said, what? You jukebox and she puke box. Because what I didn't mention to y'all was Aisha was throwing up, you guys. Aisha was just throwing up. And they were saying it looks like you always have something bad to eat or some shit like that. Now, speaking of eating or something like that, Jukebox cheese eating ass sitting here at the table with no food, just running her mouth. Yeah, she able to run her mouth because her mouth ain't full of food. It's full of bullshit that she could run back and tell her ain't rock. Her ain't rock. Bitch, I got several chains. I could have gave you a little necklace to keep your mouth shut since you running your mouth behind a necklace that she gave you. Bullshit ass chain ain't even real diamonds. I mean, I wasn't gonna get you no real diamonds neither, but shit, I got to plug on some Moissanite. I could, yeah, you know, go business grills, get the business clear. But yeah, she's sitting up there hard up saying, yeah, Aunt Rock, Kane is changing. He hanging with some old cats too, Bonnie and Clyde. And Bonnie and Clyde is just a nickname for Snap and Pop. So turns out Snap and Pops were major players. As you all know, they didn't only just sell product, they were bank robbers. Yeah, they were bank robbers back in the Gap. And Jukebox ain't too fond of that. How I know is because when she went over to Kanan's house, when the dudes, Kanan's goons, was keeping her out of the spot, Whenever she got next to Kanan, whenever she got around to talking to Kanan, she ended up telling him that you messing with these people, they used to rob banks. Are they teaching you how to rob banks? And Kanan was like, man, they don't even do that no more. I'm just living the life. I'm just living the life. She was like, man, don't you forget who you are. You still a little boy. I used to wipe your nose. You just trying to prove to your mama that you a man, but you need to know that you a little boy. Woot and woot bop. And I'm like, because Juke really upset of what happened at the movies. Oh, I ain't tell y'all what happened at the movies. So Kanan was trying to go with his move on Lakeisha. You hear me? Leave whatever the bitch, I don't care, was trying to go on his move with the girl. You see what I'm saying? And she was like, you're moving too fast for me. You're moving too fast. Damn, you can't keep up with the dance moves, or you can't keep up with a nigga trying to go with they move. It's a shame. So Kanan did what seems to work for me all the time, was tell her that, man, I'm sorry, I just like you. That's why I'm moving so fast. And you know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, I like you too, and da-da-da-da. But she still wasn't budging. So just like I would do, Kanan, she was finna leave. And Kanan said, man, look, you leaving. I'm finna sit here and watch the movie. You see what I'm saying? So Jukebox was mad at that, and she told Kanan, I told you not to mess up my stuff. I told you not to mess up my group. I told you to do right by this girl. Because if you break her heart, it could break up the group. You see what I'm saying? He was like, man, she just too young. She more like your type. What a shame. But look, you guys, I am most definitely getting tired, so I'm just finna speed through this here. Rock is getting her operation set up. They being iffy with her, like they don't want her to come through. But you know how Rock do, so she finna secure the spot, Unique's old spot, and a few new other spots, because they don't just want one building. They need multiple streams of income. So they end up linking with the Yangs so they could do the damn thing. Remember number 37. I'm going to try to remember that number, man. Y'all heard it here first. Remember number 37. But look, check this out. What else happened? I think I'm not too sure about this. Because I was maybe Lulu killed Chantel. But I don't know, because looks like we're out of time for today's video. If you like today's video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Turn your post notification bell so you won't miss any other videos. I have one power. It's the mob, biggest mob, Key the Kid. Make sure you go scream,